Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at Solana, see where we're at here with things. Make sure you join us over here on Bitunix too. I got a lot of questions here. Yes, this offer is still valid upwards of June 18th. There's a Model 3 up for grabs for a Tesla and obviously some nice deposit reward bonuses. Be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. Let me know what is your position on Solana. So let's take a look here. 170 to 160 is kind of that lower range of liquidation, more specific 165 to 160. Will we see that? It's hard to say. Solana's looking pretty strong right now. I don't really foresee that happening unless Bitcoin runs towards like 106, 107K, which is also a possibility if we don't close over 110,000 for Bitcoin. At least that's just my personal opinion. So if that is the case, what does that? How does that affect Solana? Well, let's take a look at liquidation long delta. In this case, the longs are about significant in control at about 3 billion. So we got a lot of liquidation long delta there, basically implying that the recent dip here was super guarded. So 175, that 0.618 fib level was a heavy amount of volume flowed in as soon as that occurred. Now we've talked about this previously. 175 is not only the point of control, but it's also that golden pocket range too. So we got a lot of support in that 170, 175 area. So that really just implies that further upside makes a lot more sense than further downside. However, we saw a pretty significant reset candle for Bitcoin to drop below that 110K threshold. And at this point here, a lot of alts kind of had a bad day, right? Well, good news is Solana didn't have a bad day. It recovered quite nicely, and there's a decent chance we do continue higher, but we don't want to be naive and just kind of presume that we're going to go up because we have a nice green candle. But here's that area of support that we highlighted with open interest and that 0.618 fib level. So what does that do for us here? We look at the daily time frame. We want to recognize that our macro resistance here was previously a support, so keep this in mind. 185 was well guarded until we lost it. Now it's well guarded as a resistance until we reclaim it. So we got to presume that 185 will be a resistance. So I'm not proposing you short at that level because obviously we just broke through that level and we would have closed above hadn't Bitcoin had a bad day. But that is just kind of how it goes when you get a Trump tweet about 50% tariffs on Europe. So those things do happen. But this isn't that bad of a sell-off, all things considered. So it leads me to believe that Solana's all good and there's nothing to really concern yourself with. Daily time frame still showing that we have a convergence on the horizon here with the MACD. Stochastic swinging up. 4-hour time frame, if I recall correctly, also looking pretty good. We're above all moving averages. There's no real reason to consider shorting this coin. We also have a significant amount of open interest here, or more important, point of control at about 171. Keep in mind, open interest, points of control, they're roughly the same, just different time frames. A point of control is basically just accumulation of volume. So that's kind of what we're seeing there at 170, 175. So good news is the price continues to pull back. We should see more support in that area. Okay, so all good stuff here. The 4-hour time frame, just like with Bitcoin, is showing some divergence. So we can presume the price may continue a bit lower, just based on the simple sense that we're seeing our momentous indicators pointing down, at least within reason. MACD hasn't fully diverged yet, but it's letting us know that we're losing that momentous potential. But you got to keep in mind, folks, and this is what you want to pay attention to the most, is volume. You follow the money, and that's where money's flowing into this coin right now in the 170s to 180s. So good chance we're going to be able to continue higher up, pending Bitcoin doesn't pull back any further. It's kind of that weird caveat that we're in right now. It's like, what the heck is Bitcoin going to do? Is it going to keep going higher? Or is it going to pull back like it should? If it pulled back like it should, we'd be in a much different position right now. So I'm actually glad that it hasn't. But the truth is, when Bitcoin's retesting its all-time high, it's a very tricky place to trade. So be very careful how you trade right now. But at this point, I do think that Solana is super strong with its increased amount of volume guarding that level. There's more propensity to go higher than lower. Just bear in mind too, from a macro perspective here, this is actually kind of a nice looking cup and handle. There's a decent chance that we do still see resistance at 185. Okay, but if we break that level, we should see a pretty significant push towards the upside. Once more, we got about 3 billion in liquidation long delta right now. So that's awesome. All right, folks, that's what we got there. I'll post my playout chart on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. That'll always be available for you as you're watching the video. So just know that's over here. I forgot to post that guy, but as we can kind of see, it's all available there for you. I got a lot of feedback here recently. I super appreciate the likes and the comments and just the overall support. You're awesome. So thank you for being a great part of my life. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have yourself a good rest of your day. Take care out there. Bye-bye.